Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Israil Madrimov defeats Emmany Kalombo by a 10-round unanimous decision. All in all, I think this will go down as a solid performance by Israil Madrimov. You know, he didn't set the world alight, but at the same time, he did show some real good signs of quality, some great moments for him in this fight. And yeah, all in all, he was basically in control throughout the vast majority of this fight. Israil Madrimov actually started this fight really well. He was kind of fighting out of a crouch kind of thing, and he was doing a real good job of landing straight punches to the body of Emmany Kalombo. Israil Madrimov was switch hitting, staying low and finding those straight shots to the body, doing a good job of slipping the jab of Emmany Kalombo, slipping the right hand and doing his own work. He was fighting really effectively in the first 4 rounds. Defensively responsible, keeping a good shape, wasn't quite as exuberant as we've seen Israil Madrimov in the past. With his movement, he kind of slowed it down in the first 4 rounds of this fight, just stayed a lot more compact, less wasted movement, and he decisively won the first 4 rounds in that style. Round 5, Israil Madrimov definitely won round 5, but round 5 kind of signalled Kalombo having a bit more success. Kalombo managed to land a couple of good jabs, a couple of good right hands, some nice shots in the clinch as well, and he caused a bit of damage in round 5. He actually bloodied the nose of Israil Madrimov and also caused a bit of damage to his eye as well. So round 5 was a much better round from Emmany Kalombo. He was a bit more aggressive, you know, took the initiative a bit more, and he certainly had more success than he had in the previous 4 rounds. Nevertheless though, it was still Israil Madrimov who was landing the better shots in round 5, the more eye-catching shots, some good right hooks out of a southpaw stance, again the straight shots to the body, some nice jabs to the head. You know, he clearly won round 5, Madrimov, but had a bit more trouble than he had earlier on in this fight. After the 5th round, we saw Israil Madrimov kind of revert to type from what we've seen in his first few fights. A lot of movement, a lot of attacking at crazy angles, leading with like mad power shots like uppercuts, hooks, and really taking chances to set up his offense. And in the last sort of 4 rounds or so, Madrimov was definitely going for the knockout. He dropped Emmany Kalombo in round 8 with like I think it was an overhand left, I believe. That dropped Kalombo, and you know, round 9 he hurt Kalombo on a few occasions. A nice right corkscrew jab, a straight left to the head as well. Round 9 he was really landing some great power shots, Israil Madrimov. You know, but to Kalombo's credit, he was still trying to fight fire with fire in these rounds, landed a couple of shots here and there, and he was kind of remaining tough, and he showed a good chin in this fight. But round 10, you know, again, Israil Madrimov was pushing for the knockout, really loading up on his shots, at times landing some really good shots, at times he was missing quite wildly. And yeah, the fight went all 10 rounds, and it went to Israil Madrimov by a unanimous decision. I kind of see this fight as a fight of 2 halves. First half of this fight, Madrimov was a lot more conservative than we are used to seeing, and I thought he was boxing quite effectively while he was doing that. The second half of this fight, he was more aggressive, he was taking more chances, and some of those flaws we saw in his first few fights kind of resurfaced. So yeah, I think this will go down as 10 good rounds for Israil Madrimov, a decent test. You know, Kalombo made him work hard for this win, so it's a good 10 rounds for Israil Madrimov. We saw some of the quality that Madrimov does have in this fight, some unbelievable footwork, some great head movement, some great timing, hand speed, power. Madrimov really has all of the ingredients to be a very good fighter, but he's one of those guys who, in my opinion, just isn't really putting it all together right now. It's almost like he wants to impress too much at times, and we saw that as this fight went on. But all in all, a pretty solid performance by Israil Madrimov. I certainly wouldn't say he's ready for a world title anytime soon, but definitely on the right track, I will say that. And you know, maybe in his next fight, he should fight someone like Austin Trout, for example, experienced guy, past his best, former world champion, but a guy who can give you rounds and give you a few problems. I certainly don't believe he's ready for a world title yet, but Nevertheless, Israil Madrimov, a very good prospect. As for Emmany Kalombo, I felt he could have done a bit more in this fight in terms of applying pressure, but nevertheless, he still made a good account of himself, and I wouldn't mind seeing Emmany Kalombo again. I think if you match this guy at a lower level with the likes of Ted Cheeseman, Sam Eggington, I actually think Kalombo could be quite dangerous at that level. So yeah, I still want to see Kalombo again as well, but obviously this was Israil Madrimov's night. He won by unanimous decision, and it's on to the next one for him. But anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.